Erased matriarchy. Unearthing the history of female power.
Ask a mother of 3 who stays home what she does for a living, and she will almost instinctively lower her voice and say, "Oh, I don't work." We accept that statement. We nod. But that reflex, that idea that raising the next generation isn't work, is the central lie of our time and the subject of erased matriarchy.
I mean, I get that it's hard work, but it's not part of the economy. It's just life.
That distinction, economy versus life, is new. If you stood inside an Iroquois longhouse 500 years ago, you wouldn't see a separation. The women growing the corn and distributing the food weren't doing chores. They were the treasurers. The household was the government. The hearth was the economy. Power lived where the care happened.
So the home was the boardroom.
Exactly. But let's fast forward to the moment that changed. Picture a conference room in New York. It is 1953. The United Nations is trying to figure out if the world is recovering from World War II.
Okay, measuring the recovery.
They needed a scoreboard, a standard way to measure every country's wealth. So they finalized the System of National Accounts, or the SNA. It's the rule book that gives us the GDP. But they ran into a problem. How do you count the cooking, the cleaning, the child rearing?
You estimate it? Like you estimate everything else?
That's what some wanted to do, but the men in charge decided it was too difficult, too much math, so they drew a line. They actually called it the production boundary.
The production boundary. Sounds ominous.
It was decisive. Anything inside the boundary, making cars, selling insurance, building bombs, counts as growth. Anything outside the boundary, breastfeeding, caring for the elderly, keeping a house, counts as nothing.
Nothing?
0. In the eyes of the global economy, a tree has no value until you chop it down and sell it. A woman has no value until she stops caring for her own child and gets a job caring for someone else's.
Wait, so if I hire a nanny, GDP goes up?
Yes. If you marry that nanny and she keeps doing the same work for free, GDP goes down. The labor didn't change, just the accounting. They labeled household labor non-productive.
But that was 70 years ago. Surely we fixed that.
We act like we have, but the system hasn't changed. We govern by GDP. Governments invest in what they measure. Since care work is measured as 0, it attracts 0 investment. We think society ignores caregivers because of some vague cultural sexism. No, we ignore them because a handful of accountants in 1953 wrote them out of the book.
Ignite your muse with drops of inspiration. Search Musedrops.